welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hello, Trevor.
We've
got a bit of a... how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling great.
It's been a big week already.
I mean, I was sick for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Dark PAUCKS, which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
And then I was sick again, you know.
Yeah, possibly as a result of the Dark PAUCKS.
Yeah. And then we've got PAUCKS this week. So it's kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy.
I may have skipped over something that happened this week.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Dark PAUCKS, because this was our first year going, but it's been going for a while.
Yeah. In fact, it's been going almost as long as PAUCKS.
Almost as long as PAUCKS Australia, well, at least the Australian Dark PAUCKS. But, so long-time listeners will know that we often review games that we find on the dark web.
Yes.
And these are, often versions of game, the dark web, anything goes. There's no copyright protections. There's no
ratings. There's
limitations, no ratings. And there's a lot of creativity that's happening in the dark web as a result of that. And because we've been doing that for so long, we actually got like a mysterious dark mail in our Tor browsers.
Yeah.
Through our encrypted email.
Well, mine was the dark Outlook.
Right.
So that's what I call it anyway. It's not really the dark Outlook, but it's connected.
No, it's just you've just put just normal Outlook, but on dark mode.
Yes. Yeah. That's how you breach through the Tor browser. Isn't it?
You just put dark mode on.
I have to put a really heavy spam filter on that, like really, really heavy. And luckily, this one made it through.
Yeah, thankfully. So, they gave us media passes, which was great. So for those who don't know, we call it's sort of colloquially known as Dark PAUCKS, but it's actually just called PAUCKS, but spelled PAUCKS.
Yes.
Which I think stands for
pre-apocalyptic underground content knowledge sharing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very big on knowledge sharing with the right people, obviously. You kind of have to be in the know. And we were lucky enough to be invited to this, and we got to check out some of the games. And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about today.
We're not allowed to talk about the venue. So don't go asking about that.
It was a whole... in fact, we don't technically even know where it was, because there was a whole meet at a particular spot, bag over the head. In fact, our recording equipment got taken away from us. So our usual idea of recording at one of these things, we weren't allowed to do that. That's it.
But
no, and when we played back,
pad,
because they gave it back to us afterwards, and we kind of played it back, and we caught a little bit. We did catch a little bit of the sort of the crowd and the vibe. So we might just slot that in here. So that was that was kind of what that was. That was kind of the feeling of it all. But once we got in there, it was really nice, and they gave us our. You got your lanyard, and you got your pass, and you got your mask, because it's all anonymous. No one can know who you are.
Yeah. Although us having media passes with our names emblazoned across it, it was kind of a bit weird.
The media is pretty vulnerable. Yeah, we'll say at this event. But we haven't had too many repercussions yet. I mean, we'll see how this episode goes. Maybe we will try not to speak too poorly about some of the games. But look, we saw some really cool stuff.
We did.
There's just some really interesting things going on in that space. So I think let's get into it. Trev, do you want to talk about one of the games that we saw?
Yeah, so, I mean, first cab off the rank, I think Royal Hammer of Fury was pretty cool.
Yep.
So
that was kind of down in the corner, blocked off, had like a curtain around it. I mean, a lot of them had curtains around them. But
they all had curtains around them. I mean, they really didn't want anyone else seeing what was sort of going off. It was kind of like a maze of curtains. It was
you'd pull aside a curtain and you'd find someone showing off their game. Again, wearing a creepy fucking mask.
Or sometimes you'd open up a curtain and there was someone getting a tattoo. You didn't know.
You didn't know. I really hope that guy screwed him healed well from that one we walked into because the tattoo artist could get a little bit of a fright. I mean, that Yoshi's tongue ended up being a bit longer, a bit further down the shaft than I think he wanted.
Just a little bit. Okay, so Royal Hammer of Fury.
Yeah.
This one was early, but I remember really good graphics.
Yeah, it looked very impressive. The hammer, the textures on the hammer.
Not stolen, which is good. At least nothing that we recognised.
And actually, just a bit of a tangent. Like one thing that we love about the dark web is there's actually sort of a real like honor among thieves kind of vibe going on. No AI generation in sight, no Gen AI in sight. Like there's sort of a lot of pride put into things, and so even though it's not that theft of stuff doesn't go on. Like we said, it's kind of no holds barred, but you won't be respected for that. Like the work is really quite respected. Which is cool. So I thought. And
in fact, one of the games that we'll talk about a little bit later on actually blatantly says models stolen from these games in particular. Like,
but look, that's all part of the creativity. It's like a remix. Then it's that remix culture.
Yeah.
And not having to worry about the copyright claims. So, but no, this one I think was looked all original from what I could see. Really interesting mechanics. Like I thought it was an interesting idea to do the first person view.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
for such heavy like platforming. You had that hammer, and you're doing a lot of kind of smashing down with your hammer to then fire back up into the air. Almost gave you a bit of vertigo feeling, as you're smashing around this arena and these levels.
The fact that you could switch it around and use the claw to like swing off stuff and then switch back around and smash down because it's a claw hammer. Sorry, we should actually get this right. Like it is actually
so
like
you could spin it around. You had like the claw. Yeah, you had the claw side, and you could use that to like hang off of nails sticking out of the wall and stuff as well. Like if you to get a moment. And then obviously the more, that I was going to say the more damaging hammer side, but you can do a hell of a lot of damage with that claw side.
And you certainly do in certain certain boss battles, like where you're going at that guy's eye and it's like flat claw.
I mean, you had to hit those combos right, because he had those metal eyelids.
Yeah.
And you kind of had to pry through those first before you could get a good hit on the eye, and so it matters like whether you're using the claw side or the hammer side. So that was really cool. I liked the kind of almost Shadow of Colossus vibes with the bosses as well.
Some of them are fucking massive, like skyscraper levels.
And again using that claw to really like get in on that robot's joints as you're climbing up, and like rusty nails sticking out of it, and
and the fact that as you're first going up, you're not noticing what's my way up, but as you get closer, your hammer power sort of shines all the different rusty nails around. It's like, oh, okay, so there's a rusty nail path up here, and then there's
I thought that was good. It was very subtle. It was not the sort of yellow paint splattered on everything that people are so pissed off with these days.
Aura. It was like an aura around each of the
the sort of interactable items. So it was cool.
Came up as you got close.
Obviously, there's no talking to the devs aloud or anything. Like, it's completely silent except for the game. You kind of just have to take the game at face value in this situation. But it seemed like there was probably like a team behind this one, I thought. This was more than just a solo kind of.
I mean, the silhouettes on the photo really gave that feel that there was actually a team.
Yeah,
there was more.
I mean, you sort of never know, because there have been some situations where it looks like it's a huge team, but, you know, then it comes out that they've just set up a bunch of dummies and, yeah. But again, anything goes. So, you know, if that's their marketing strategy, then that works for them. But no, in this case, I think it was legit. They definitely had a pretty talented team behind it.
Mm. Yeah.
And then I guess, you know, from a story point of view, the royal part of it,
was
kind of neat. Yeah, so you're basically through very sort of violent,
or a princess. Sorry, I keep on forgetting. You could choose either.
Yeah, you could choose, which was a nice little touch.
Yeah,
but yeah, sort of through violent and bloody means, taking back your crown,
your kingdom. Yeah,
your kingdom was cool, and yeah, just a really interesting world building stuff. So I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah, I can almost see this going as a cooperative sort of thing, because there were definitely sometimes two paths up, like a boss. So I could imagine having a prince and princess, you know, one going sort of up one side, one going up the other, and I mean, you're going to save your family, so
yeah, you could be like siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if the creators are listening to see what we thought, then there's a
few ideas
for you. Yeah.
Okay. What was the next one in our maze of curtains that you remember?
Yeah, well, this one was a little bit surprising when we ran into it, because they did kind of have some interesting marketing stuff up when we opened the curtain and found Super Sexy Cricket Nitro.
Super Sexy Cricket Nitro. That was so much fun. It
was really, you don't think so from the title, right? You look at that and you go, ugh. Because there's a lot of, you know, NSFW games on the dark web, obviously, like, you know, you even on the regular web, you go to itch.io and everything's, you know, porn games or whatever. You can imagine what it's like when there's even less restrictions. But this was much more kind of, I like that it was tongue-in-cheek.
Tongue-in-cheek, arcadey.
It wasn't just, it wasn't just pandering with, you know, throwing tits and dicks and ass into a game for no reason. Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's there was. I mean, they were the streakers and that sort of stuff. I mean, that.
Well, and you had the moves. You know, when you, I mean, I don't know cricket that well, but. You know, if you hit for a 6 and you sort of, your clothes blast off you, and as you you know, run around and celebrate.
I mean, that's the Nitro part, isn't it? Like, just, you know,
exactly.
You're running at, you know, full speed. And I did like the fact that even though you would hit for 6, your characters would run up and do the full 6 runs.
Yeah.
Because that would help blow another set of clothes off anyway.
Well, that's what I like. That, like, each run you're seeing that speed up. Another layer of clothes is coming off. There's sort of this interesting aspect to it. And then if you're playing well, then you've just got completely nude players. But, like, interesting, they don't really. Again, it's not the pandering sort of thing. It's just like, well, they're nude now. It's kind of hot.
Yeah,
they're pretty sweaty. They've been playing cricket, and they've got weird arcadey powers to make them run faster and jump higher and stuff. So
still, though, I did like the fact that they still wore safety equipment. So it's not like you saw hanging dicks. You saw a box, like, but it's just that when they were running, you saw an ass crack. It was like,
it was not completely blatant. I mean, I think. Obviously, the crowd often would just. I mean, there's a lot of full frontal nudity in it, and when you're looking at a dark web game, you expect that. Why? Because why would you censor it? There's no reason to. If you want tits and ass in your game, then you put them in your game.
You're not going to get any Visa or PayPal, you know, saying, "Oh, you can't sell this." It's like
it's not going to be unrated in Australia because of it. It's like people who know how to find it will find it
from crypto anyway. Like,
you
know.
So but I did like the arcadey aspect even of just the cricket game. Your little power ups that you could get, you know, to make you run faster, to make you be able to, you know, bowl, you know, sort of the almost NBA Jam style flaming ball.
One of the things I did like is that they had, you know, that extra mode where you could turn it into like old timey game mode. Where it felt like it came from, you know, the early 80s, where you had to like push those two buttons to get.
Yes.
You're pushing the two buttons to get the running thing working.
Well, I got the sense that they hadn't quite got it in there, but that they wanted to get the peripheral. Like they probably didn't. A lot of the booths are pretty small, so maybe they couldn't fit it in. Yeah. And again, we couldn't ask them, but you know, they were sort of miming to run. You know, they wanted us to sort of. To know that that running was a big part of it. So yeah, I think they're probably, you know, are doing a fun little callback there.
Yeah, I mean, at least you had the decathlon buttons. You know, you push, you know, the square brackets, and you get if you get a good rhythm there, then. But that was only for the old timey mode. I think.
Well, they'd obviously had a lot of fun with it because they also had that mode, and it didn't change the gameplay too much, but it made all of the players look like that old Test cricket game with the ball bearings.
Yeah.
Did you remember having that as a kid? I never had it, but I played it at friends' places. That was just that. You know, you could really sort of see the textures were great for like the felt, and they were all just held their positions, and the ball was obviously, you know.
I mean, there's a huge fucking ramp in the middle of the fucking.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's got the middle of the bowling. So I think it mostly just changed the animations and textures and stuff, but it was cool.
What I loved is if the bowler turned like at the wrong time, he could actually knock all the bowlers over, all the batsmen running up the field because they had
done some physics work there too. Yeah,
tilt arm. That was really cool. I really, really enjoyed that. That was a really cool game.
And look, I'm not like I said, I don't really know cricket. And I'm not usually into it, but I mean, I'd play that game. It was cool.
There was another sports game. It was Tiger Woods Gnome Dancers.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. The idea of having Tiger Woods, who's typically known for golf, and this time he was involved in dancing. So it was actually more of a.
Now I think this was a situation because, like I said. There's no sort of Gen AI and stuff, so I think someone with a lot of crypto managed to get Tiger Woods on board with this for his likeness, and likeness and voice, which is impressive.
I mean, they could have kidnapped him. They could have got a very good voice actor.
I mean,
Who
that's
knows?
true. We don't know for sure. We don't know I mean, it could just be a very good modeler. You know, it wasn't necessarily a scan or whatever, but
yeah.
But either way,
it could be stolen straight from PGA, like Tiger Woods.
True, that's true.
Tiger
There's
Woods,
a lot of reasons. I don't know why.
Tour
like, I guess I'm just a romantic. I like to think of the idea of going behind, you know, under everyone's nose and getting a massive star like that. Even though he's kind of been cancelled, hasn't he? I don't know. I guess that's where a lot of the cancelled stars do end up going to the darker sides of the internet.
So Tiger Woods does have his golf club. You're not fully away from golf, but with gnome dancers, like they're tiny. Gnomes are actually kind of tiny, much smaller than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, you think of garden gnomes, it's sort of that sort of size, but when they're there dancing next to Tiger Woods, like they're tiny,
and he gets
which
involved.
is almost, yeah,
and then plays golf with him pretty much. Like it's not with him, not playing like he's taking a shot and then they're taking a shot. He's actually hitting the ball. The gnome. They are the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but I like the rhythm aspect then as well that they brought into that. Like it wasn't totally golf and it wasn't totally dance. They really sort of melded that gameplay style really, really quite well. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit janky, this one. There wasn't, a ton of animation on the gnomes and stuff. Actually, which makes me think you're probably right. They probably just took the models and animations and stuff from one of the other golf games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he sort of was the most animated of all of the characters. But the voices on the gnomes, I thought, were quite good and quite funny.
Quite good.
Great little interjections. When you hit a gnome and do like a good,
I mean, if you do a power shot,
a good swing,
unfortunately, you do decapitate them. And that was an interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting mechanic, because usually in a golf game, I mean, obviously you do have to do the right power for where you're trying to hit it, but yes, in this case, you also had to take into account essentially the tearing strength of the particular gnome that you were using,
and the club. Like that's it. If you used a driver on, I'm trying to think of the different clans of gnomes that you had.
Oh yeah, what were they?
I mean, you had wood gnomes, you had field gnomes, you had sand gnomes.
Yeah, and then like the underground ones.
Yeah,
like I think they were just hole gnomes or something.
Yeah. They each have different, like a sand gnome. You're never gonna take a driver to, because you'll rip that head right off. Like,
oh yeah.
But a hole gnome, yeah, they can take that shit all day. Except if Tiger Woods hits full power, then every single gnome is
gnome can, like, yeah, which makes sense. So,
but it's like sometimes you know that if you don't hit the green on this particular stroke, then the big what was the bad thing's name that was always after you?
Oh yeah,
Grinax or something like that.
Yeah,
something along those.
I think it was something like that.
This big monster. This big monster that's basically continually chasing you. So you're not only going against stroke limit,
like strokes, yeah.
But you're trying to get the further that you are away from the music source, the more likely that the Grinax is to coming and killing you. And Tiger Woods does not like getting killed, because then he's got to get resurrected, and that's a whole...
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's
minigame.
He's a celebrity. Like, he doesn't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah. So anyway, then you got to rip that gnome, and you got to... If you get a massive power stroke and you get it onto the green is where some more music is. And you know that, okay,
and
I'm
then
fine
you've got
now.
the dance sequence.
But you've now lost one of your gnomes. And you've only got X amount of gnomes per course. But
what's interesting is, of course, with Grinax or whatever it was, if you decapitate a gnome, obviously you leave its body there, and
you're going to delay,
lap up the blood, eat the entrails, and so you've got that little bit of extra time then to finish your game.
Then you can have your dance break on the green.
That's it, which ups your stamina. And,
I mean, I really did like the animation that when it landed on the green, it's like, she's dancing, and
Well, there were some great little transitions, actually, from the gnomes, flying through the air, and then if you land in a good spot, just, flipping and transitioning straight into the dance.
Like the 70s one, that was really cool.
Oh, yeah,
Came
like
up
Saturday Night Fever
to like
style.
A Saturday Night Fever, little white suit. You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's gnome.
Like I said, the voices were really good. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was really cool. Okay.
Well, so again, talking of sort of the lack of copyright, Muppet Tricycle Diesel was great. This was almost like a Mario Kart-esque kind of thing. They clearly were inspired by that. Obviously, they'd used all the Muppets from both the Muppet Show and Sesame Street. I think there were bits of both. Because like Cookie Monster was definitely in there, and but yeah, like I mean, it was mostly just a pretty solid kart racer.
Yeah,
with these big fucking dieselish tricycles that are just pumping out black smoke. And
I did like the fact that they included the Muppet Babies as well. Especially
like
the fact that they looked exactly like the Muppet Babies from the 1986
like the original,
McDonald's.
Not the new.
Yeah, it's like what was actually released in the McDonald's, Happy Meal toys.
Oh, right. Was that where Muppet Babies started?
Well, no, but
from the show.
They modelled it off them, basically.
Right. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah,
I think what they did is they bought a whole set of them. They bought a whole set of them and did like photo scans of them.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, no, they worked well. I really liked the theming of all the carts and stuff. Obviously you've got Fozzie Bear there, and he had his microphone and stuff. He's like sort of hooning around doing his comedy and stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that I particularly liked. I can't remember his name. Who's the piano player?
Ralph.
Rolf, isn't it?
Sorry,
yeah, Rolf. Yeah, I particularly liked him because they had that nice little piano stuff going as he'd go past you and you'd just hear the keys jingling. And
his whole handlebar was just keyboard.
He's basically just playing it the whole time.
That was so cool.
Animal in there. Yeah.
On a huge drum kit that is just
which was great.
Fucking going. Yeah, I really, really liked the fact that they went as far as they did with the Muppets, really getting those typical ones that you expect, and then some deep cuts as well.
Oh yeah,
Sam the Eagle.
Obviously Swedish Chef was in there.
Yeah,
I think they had one of those fucking Martians, the yip ones in there. Which was cool on the little hovering thing.
I did see on the poster that there was like a little Elmo, but kind of
I didn't see that in the game.
It was kind of decapitated and then put on like a spike.
Okay.
So
maybe some political or their own like opinions there about which Muppets deserve to be in there or something.
Yeah,
only old school Muppets.
But yeah, I think some of it went a little bit too far. Like ripping some of the Muppets apart, was maybe going a little bit too far.
There was a lot of stuffing.
Yeah.
Flying, that's for sure.
I mean, it felt like kind of a mix between Mario Kart and Burnout Paradise, or a bit
game. Of well, and some aspects of like Road Rash. Was it Road Rash?
Yeah,
Road Rash.
Where you using a weapon,
the motorcycle
to smack people off.
Yeah, because you had those aspects of really being able to, use your special abilities directly on. It wasn't like Mario Kart where you're just like, drop it behind him and hope it hits them. It's like, no, pull up beside them and fucking give it to them.
I mean, I really do get feelings of Burnout Takedown where you take one of the Muppets down and it's like,
well, I loved
you see the head
go into the slow motion
and then
the great posing on them and stuff. Like, I don't know if they're doing like an active ragdoll thing or something, because it felt very natural, but they'd come flying out and they'd often be sort of screaming but looking at the camera as they flew through the air. Obviously using Miss Piggy was fantastic for that sort of thing. Just like take him out if you hit him right. Take him out in one go.
I have a feeling that some of the blood may have not been Muppet blood, but it may have actually been like the puppeteer's blood.
Hand.
The hand, yeah. So that may actually now make sense.
I mean, that does make sense. And if you did a particularly good hit, it was like if you really decimated that Muppet, it was a really nice touch to have the hand.
It was like felt, stuffing, blood.
Yeah.
As it skidded along the ground.
Yeah, so, it was pretty gruesome.
You know what? I think we need to go through like we're not going to have enough time to talk about all the games that we saw. So maybe let's just go through like a lightning round, sort of talk about a couple of little games that we had.
Yep. You go first.
So my first one was Romantic Hobo Blaster. That was kind of fun.
Kind of Cupid-esque.
You basically two homeless people who were just blasting the fuck out of aliens. It was just
and really falling in love as you did.
And falling in love, co-op game.
That was
cute.
That was cool. Confusing Lawnmower Overdrive was quite good. Again, another kind of that was more of a competitive one, but couch based.
Yep.
And it was confusing. It was pretty pretty out there.
Starting up the lawnmower was a bit of a nightmare sometimes because you had to remember, I need to pump it 3 times and then pull the handle and then drop the choke.
The little mini game sort of thing. But then once you got it started, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lethal Unicorn of Doom. That was a cool 2D platformer where you're just this cute little unicorn who's going around disemboweling minions of hell. Yeah,
it reminded me of that I think it's that Perry Bible Fellowship comic with the unicorn. We'll have to look that one up because
I have to have a look at that.
Yeah, that was good. Olympic Bedtime Hell was really funny. Having to get all the kids into bed, the timing right, drinks of water as they get up. It was very much sort of one of these plate spinning kind of games, but with the trappings of a sport like an Olympic event.
Really cool. Where I thought they were going to be going with it, and remember when we walked in and they're like Olympic Bedtime Hell, I'm like, oh god, this is all about the sleeping conditions at the Olympic Village, and it wasn't that. That's what I thought it was going to be a lot of
the cardboard beds and the fucking on them. It was much more wholesome actually.
Lazy Outlaw Dungeon, which is literally they just took the game Outlaws and made it into a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
And cool, now that they're doing a remake of Outlaws and it looks shit, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder if they got this team.
Yeah. Oh, right. Interesting.
It looks very similar. It was very lazy.
Iron Hair Salon Interactive, I thought was an interesting, almost not a game. It was more like a sort of toy, but doing hairstyles on robots.
Yeah.
So lots of welding. Again,
not what I thought it was going to be.
Grinding.
I thought Iron Hair Salon Interactive. I thought, you're going to be doing hairstyles with an iron, you'd literally ironing someone's hair.
No, but it's iron as in these, robotic.
It was robotics.
Yeah.
Apathetic Quantum Superstar. That was kind of fun.
Interesting the emotions that they bring into these games, actually. But I felt like it was a bit... Yeah.
Bit meh.
It was a bit meh. Angry Fantasy in the Middle East. Speaking of emotions, again, I think this is part of the dark web thing is people can really put themselves into it a bit more because there's just so much less pressure to
anonymity.
And the anonymity, absolutely.
The anonymity. The fact that, they don't have to put themselves out there. They don't have to put their face to it.
No, that's it. But this one, Angry Fantasy in the Middle East, this was pure getting out the rage at Israel's genocide. It was very political. You couldn't make this is the thing, you couldn't make that game outside of the dark web. But
and you know
they
what?
had something to say and they said it, and good on them.
We've got a lot of other games that we can talk about here, but let's maybe keep these aside, and maybe in a couple of weeks we'll come back and talk about some other games that we
check
saw
over
at Dark PAUCKS.
I'll check over our notes that we had to make, obviously, after the, once we'd left and what we actually remembered. But,
we at least had a notepad and pen. But, how many notes we actually made depends on
and
who
they did
played
redact
more.
a bunch of stuff. They checked over it, redacted some stuff. So, but I think for tonight, that's maybe all we got.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. We do have PAUCKS coming up, actual PAUCKS.
So the next episode should be a live one, or
I think so.
If we record
and on the
one
PAUCS floor,
if we record one in the hotel, then we do that, and that's what happens.
There'll be some PAUCKS stuff coming up, and that'll be good. And if you want to find our previous episodes online, go to bitstormcast.com or anywhere else you find podcasts and search for Bitstorm.
If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. So go check it out at kuradust.bandcamp.com. Once again, before we actually stop, we'd love to thank the lovely organisers at PAUCKS, the Pre-Apocalyptic Underground Content Knowledge Sharing Convention. That was wonderful. Thank you for including us.
Yeah, please invite us next year. Hopefully we didn't offend anyone or, do anything wrong, and we can still be on the ends with this whole community.
Because this was fun. It felt good to actually be, well, not really recognised as such, but, the
recognised in that we were invited.
We were invited,
yes.
Yeah.
No one asked us for autographs or anything.
Oh, we should really talk about that one thing that did happen where, because everyone was wearing black and everyone was wearing masks, but when I went to the bathroom that time and I came out, I couldn't find you for like 10 minutes.
That did. And we didn't have our phones or anything. So that was actually a fun little 10 minutes.
And there was like 7 people all waving.
Yeah, because I think everyone was getting lost as they came out of the toilet. So
that was kind of fun.
That was
We learned very quickly after that it's like, we're going to meet back here.
Yes, and we set up some sort of more specific hand signals.
Yes,
which was good.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
That's all, folks.